Hello guys, I'm back. I'm gonna continue from last video on Monday that we did, and while I was using IPR rendering right here, IPR rendering, and the system at school is caused some kind of interesting refreshing rate on monitor are not fast enough. So when I open this file in my computer um, in the office, is this illuminate by default it was off, but while I was doing lecture it was on. So that's what's the problem. So make sure you, if something happened like one of your lights are not working on screen, you might need to close the application and then reopen it again to just get it get the Maya to update the screen. So I'm gonna save, and so now I think my lighting is still too dark, and when I look at on oh sorry, it's still reading, still rendering, so I'm gonna have to wait a little bit to see because what we are trying to do is we don't want any pixelation or grain on the screen at all. So we just want a clear, nice, smooth rendering. And I could see that I can lit my backdrop a little lighter. It's too dark. This is too dark. So I'm gonna have to bring the lights back. So now I can see it's so dark. It took only about a minute. So my main key lights exposure to 8. I think I can do more. I'm gonna make the size of my key lights a little bigger, longer. So it will be a little brighter when the size are big. Okay. And we are using a area light because we wanted to mimic the light box in the studio lighting. So right now it's reading again, still rendering 6%. And here we go. Let me pause the video so that you don't have to watch this. Okay, it took 55 seconds. So now I'm gonna bright this up. How about 10? Here we go. And then I think 10 is better. Can you see it's bright enough? So I'm gonna go with 10. Now on your file, you might be different number than mine. So right here 10, and I use color temperature 7000, so a little blue color, almost white. And intensity, just leave it 0. So the exposure is basically mimic how long the camera opened the shutter and then let the lights come in. So we're gonna have to wait again. So I can see still processing 50%. If your system are too slow, just you can't really do anything. You just have to wait. Let me pause the video again. Oh no. So now it's done, and I think it's clean. I can lit this side a little bit, so that light I'm gonna have to turn on illuminated. Here we go. So I put total of 4 lights. These are fill light. These are, I mean, all 3 lights that we did is you can consider as a fill light, but the position, 2 of them is on the back. So some people call it backlit lighting. So that's same, any name you want to call. So now this is gonna take a little bit longer, but can you see we still can see 3-dimensional because these are different tone than here. These are brighter because the key lights, So it's create a little brighter tone, mid tone, and then the dark tone. So no black color, we avoid black color. Okay, so and this time should take a little longer than 55 seconds because more lighting. So I might have to check this light. It might not be on. Let me select. We don't know yet. Hold on. So now it took 1 minute and 18 seconds. So a little longer. This one is lit. Let's see if that's illuminated. Okay. So I think I don't like this kind of curtain look. I'm gonna add extra light to just casting into the backdrop. So you can duplicate one of these and scale it. Let me pause the IPR. So I'm gonna just duplicate this one. Control D, and then did I do Control D? Oh, not yet. Control D, duplicate. Edit, duplicate basically. I'm gonna just move it, and then I'm gonna rotate it and lit on the backlight, on the backdrop. Let me reposition my rotation quick. Here we go, like this. I want straight line, and I'm gonna scale that a little wider. And this one will be dimmer. It just want to lit only the back. So let's turn this on. Let's go to attribute editor. Let's make it only full. May not be enough, and I'm gonna use color temperature. I'm gonna make it warm, like warm color. Cool color will become a little yellow. In the color temperature is slightly different than, as I explained, that is different than a subtractive color. This additive color. Okay, so now I'm gonna click render, see if it lit. It lit a little bit, right? I forgot to click save snapshot, but I think it need to be lower. It need to lit this. It's basically I wanted to eliminate that kind of a curve shadow, that because of the this back to lit light. And I'm gonna name this, I'm gonna call backdrop, so that I know what it is. Backdrop area light. There we go. So I'm not going to wait until it's finished. I'm gonna just stop IPR because I already know that this is okay. I'm gonna just have to reposition it, move it down more. And this guy, I want it to be behind. Here we go. Behind the object, the fire hydrant, because I don't want it to multiply the brightness on that. I just want to lit the backdrop. So now let's me try it. It's a little lighter, not enough. Not enough. I'm gonna make it bigger. Let me stop IPR. How about a little down? Let's see if this is might be okay. Still not enough. I'm gonna stop again. I'm gonna just brighten it up. How about 6 and IPR? A little better. I'm gonna stop. I might have to make adjustment on this light instead because it's still do it so much. Let's try that first. How about 8? Oh, perfect. I'm gonna do 8. Well, even 8, guys. Hold on. No. It's still seeing it. So I'm gonna bring this down to 6, not 8. and then I'm gonna reposition these two guys. So basically I'm gonna rotate it or make it smaller, rotate angle away. It might change the rim light. If it changes, we're gonna have to scale it instead. Let's try to render again. Now it's a little narrower, so now we can see it's narrower. How about we make it closer to the body? Let me move a little closer to the body, both of them, and make it smaller. Lower. Okay, it might lit this. We'll see. Yeah, it does lit that. Too bright. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna move it up. It just basically, oh, let me change the moving to workspace. I just want to move it up straight line, so that won't be too close. That's better. That's better. Stop again. Move it up a little more. Now that's nicer. Okay, that's what I wanted. So in this case, I'm gonna go back to the backdrop. Oops, stop that rendering. Let's bring it to 8 because these two lights are not multiplying the color on the brightness on the back. Here we go. So it's a little nicer. I could even, let's move this up a little bit more. All right, so I think that's enough. Actually, let me brighten it up. I can't. I am unsatisfied. Let's do 10. Well, let's do 9. Sorry, guys. It's basically you have to try each scene. The strength of the light will be less than the other, just the way it is. So now what you could do though, you could create another shader. Let's go to the shader. Let me click on the shader. Oh, let me stop this rendering because that costs. Come on, stop. It's still trying to rendering, so the shader is not updated. Okay, oops, stop. I double click too soon. Here we go. So the shader, this button. Okay, and the body is Lambert and it's gray color. What we can do, we can change. We add another Lambert, Maya Lambert. If you want shiny, you can use blend, but don't do that for this project. Okay, just blend, just Lambert, and then you can call. How about white color? I can just do white backdrop, and then make the color a little brighter. Here we go. And I'm gonna drop that. So I'm gonna select the surface, right click and choose assign material to selection, and let's test render. So it's a little brighter on the I don't like it at all. It's make the surface look so dark, right? So let's stop that. How about let's change Lambert 1 on there, but all the object. Let me switch this panel back to top view. Okay, so I'm gonna select all the object, subtract everything out, and let's see, I'm gonna add white color on it, and let's see, here we go. Okay, So let's do a little darker than white. Click on that. Let's dim it a little bit. And you can click on a region render. So I'm gonna just let IPR update only that color, only that section. So because when it's smaller, you will render a little faster. Just turn this on, render region, and then you just drag, reposition. So here we go. Okay. So I think I could do a little darker, just a bit. Here we go. Now I'm gonna turn that off and then let it render all. So I think this is good. Okay. So now though, we're gonna put a wireframe on to render with wireframe. So let me stop this quick. I think I'm gonna close this quick. Okay, I'm gonna move the camera a little closer. So select the camera, unlock this, translate, right click and unlock so that you can move forward. I want it to be a little closer. Here we go. So that shot, one close up. So when I render, see closer. Here we go. And I'm gonna let it render until it's finished. So I'm gonna pause the video. Okay, so render finished 1 minute and 14 seconds. It's not too bad. So I'm gonna take a snapshot. So keep it just in case I want to compare with something. So now how to save this? You just go to file. Before you save, you need to go to save image option. Make sure use enable color management and apply gamma exposure. Now at this point I did not turn on a color. I'm gonna click OK. Now if you are work at school, if you click on the hold on, let me go to more proper menu. If you work at school, you go to window, settings / preferences and preference, and look under color management. At school, the color management is enabled, so it will use AESC. Hold on, let me turn it on quick. So now I did not install here. See, it will use this ACES. So you just let it go, is fine. But when you render, you need to so if I turn it on, okay, if I turn it on and close, now it's brighter. Can you see? So when it's brighter, you have to go and fix your light. Your light will be slightly different. Okay, so now when you come to file, image option, when you enable, you will have to select. I would suggest you to use sRGB gamma if you work at school. If you work at home, just use REC 709 gamma. That will be just fine. Okay, so at this point I'm gonna disable temporary. Oh no, hold on. I'm gonna disable temporary, and then I'm gonna go back here, turn this off. I turn it off. You can turn it off too, even in school. I think I would suggest you to turn it off for this project. It's easier. So, and now I have to wait again. Hold on. I can select this while we're waiting, and then I can save that, save image, and then on the image you're gonna have to specify. I'd like you to save on a PNG or JPEG, either one of those. don't save on TIFF, Taka, and other things. So I'm gonna call short, just render 01. Okay, so I save that, and now this is finished render. I can snapshot this another one too, but I'm not doing it. So now, what about changing the side view? If you remember, I suggest you to group, right? So group it, and then you just rotate it. I'm gonna do 45 degree first. Here we go. And then I'm gonna come to render. Oh, come on, stop. It's a, here we go. You might have to disable selection by toggle it. And camera shape 1, render again. So it may not update right away. It's a little awkward here. Sometimes it causes that is I think it's a screen redraw problem. So I'm gonna close that, reopen. Here we go, and shift 1, render. Here we go. So it will update it. I have to wait a little bit. My computer is still thinking. I'm gonna pause the video. Oh, not yet. I just want you to see it. Here we go. It's updated now. So I'm gonna pause the video until it's finished. Okay. Okay, it's done. It takes almost 2 minutes, so it's gonna start it to be longer and longer. So I'm gonna save image again, and then number 2. Here we go. So now let's do another way. Let's bring all of those copy that we copied. So I'm gonna stop IPR temporarily, and now when you look at this, see the, because I select the group node, the group is contain every parts of those objects. So when I put 0, it's come back here. Now I'm gonna turn on copy layers. Here we go. So now it's show up. So on copy layers, because we need more space on camera, so I'm gonna move. Now it's safe. Let me save as. Oh, good. So I turn on. Oh, guys, by the way, let me show you something. Under, when you click on the little guy with the gear icon, will bring you into a preference under time slider. Look at under file/project. I enable autosave, and I set every 25 minutes. You can set every 10 or every 15 or any number you like. It's basically help you to remind you, help to save basically. And so we'll save in there. Now where it does save though is does this. Oops. It will save under your project folder. And number 5, it will under autosave will be right there. So here we go. Okay, so I can move this out, the camera, so that I can see more. Here we go. Now I'm gonna render it out. Oh, too big. Here we go. Gonna turn on IPR. And that's weird. It doesn't update the copy. Hold on. It's just really weird. Come on, stop. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna have to shut that down. I almost forget. Let's add the color. Let's do that before. Okay, and Lambert white assign so that they have the same color. Here we go. Okay, so once again, open render and come on, show up those three. Here we go. It just need to close down the rendering window. I'm gonna pause the video until it's finished render. This should takes about 3 times, from probably more than, it's about 3 minutes, I think. We'll see. Okay guys, I was wrong. I thought that double geometry, triple geometry will be triple times. Actually just 1 minute and 33 seconds. It's just because of it's zoom out more. So I'm gonna save this file again. Here we go. And this will be number 3. So now the next thing you will need to do is you will zoom more closer. Like for example, I'm gonna stop IPR. And I'm gonna close that for a bit. You can move the camera closer, or you can create, let's create a new camera. Create a camera, and then you can call close-up camera. You can create as many as camera you want. Close up. The reason that you wanted to create a more camera, O1, because so that you don't have to keep moving camera again, try to find the position that you take a shot before. And let's see, here we go. So and I'm gonna zoom in closer. So this is close up. Let's turn on resolution gates also, so that we know where the frame is. So, and then if you want the object to be a little angle, because you want to show off this detail. Let's see, I wanted to show off the number 8. We want to show off number 8. Okay, how about that? And I'm gonna move right there. Let me grab the hydrant again. Let's rotate. I want to see number 8 really close up. Grab that camera, move closer, like super close up. How about that? Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna render that camera. So I'm gonna go to Arnold, open up, and then close up camera shape. Here we go, and then click IPR. And now it always does that. Arnold and Maya, it will not go that close up, so you have to switch one more time, switch multiple, and switch until you get it. It's just a little kind of glitch that Arnold rendering window has. So this is the way to do it. So now I'm gonna wait until it's finished render. So I'm gonna pause the video. Okay guys, so this one takes 1 minute and 41 seconds because it's larger scale on the screen. I'm gonna take a snapshot, keep it to see, and go to File, Save, Image, and here we go, and should be number 4. Now I forgot one thing guys, I forgot to put dot extension PNG. This is really strange in Maya software. Arnold, it can be saved in any type of extension, but you need to type them. Any list here, but you have to type them. Otherwise, I don't know what they save it to. So I'm gonna check, see if I can do detail and render 1, 2. So it's saved in JPEG because by default JPEG is on front of it. So if you want PNG, you have to type PNG. So if I save here, let me show you again. So Now number 4 is PNG. Can you see? Because I type PNG. So if you don't type, it's gonna save as a default JPG. Okay, so either one would work. Okay, so now the next thing I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna render it out more. I'm probably gonna put maybe 6-7 camera. It depends on. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you how to render wireframe on shed. Okay guys, so now I'm gonna use the same camera, this camera to render. We're gonna render all 3 of them. So, and let me put all 3. Now, the IPR will not update it. You will have to close down the window and then reopen it. It just, like I said, is a glitch. So, and you're gonna have to do render 1 again, and this time should do it. So now, but it may screenshot on perspective or something. It's just a glitch, so you have to keep going, changing. Here we go, until it showed up. So now we're gonna put wireframe mode on it. So I'm gonna stop IPR. To do that, okay, you need to open up Hypershade, this button, and the main menu is under Window, Rendering Editor, Hypershade. Shortcut is right here. So, and you bring Hypershade. Now, we need to use a Arno wireframe shader. So, how to find it? Look at under Arno tab here. Expand it, shader, expand it, and highlight surface. Now, it on the list is right on the bottom, AI wireframe, and then you just click one. You might want to rename it if you want to. I call a hydrant AI wireframe, so that we know it's for hydrant. So now we need to apply it to all of them. So I'm gonna use outliner to select all the group, because we group them, right? So select all like that, right click, and you assign to multiple selection. Here we go. So now it's all in there. We're gonna have to edit. Make sure you click on this button, the hydrant shader, wireframe shader, so that you see this setting. You might want to do this. We're done with this, so let's just double click on it. So that is bring it up to this window. Now if you work on campus, you can just bring this window to the other monitor. So I'm gonna close it down because I saw it here. So now from here, we didn't turn IPR yet, so I'm gonna enable it, and this is how it looks. Now you might see that, wait a minute, why it look like this? First of all, on 1, I select the 1, group 1, and I press 1 instead of 3. When you do render as a wireframe, you want it to render at 1, not 3, because 3 is look like this. So I'm gonna select group 2 and group 3 and press 1. Change the display polygon, so you might have to activate the window. Let's stop the IPR quick. I activate the window and press 1. Okay, so that now, can you see on the selection, if I zoom in, this is 1, the other is, how about 3? So so that's 3, this is 1, so press 1. So now I'm gonna click render. Here we go. It will look like this. So now we don't want the triangle, we just want a quad. So I'm gonna stop rendering. Now I lose my selection of the attribute of the hydrant, so I have to open up Hypershade again and double click on the hydrant, so that it bring it up here. I'm gonna close. So right here, edge type, change 2 polygons. Then you can enable regions, render regions, so that we can just let it update only that area. That's all. Now the line width right now is 0.1. I think 0.1 might be too thick. Let's do 1. Let's do 0.5. Let's make it thinner so that we can see a little detail. How about 0.25? Here we go. Let's do 0.5 at this level and render. Turn this off. Sorry. So let it update the whole scene. So it will look like this. Here we go. And can you see save? And I will pause the video until it's finished. Okay, it's finished. So I'm gonna save, and this time I'm gonna call render wireframe. I'm gonna match. Let me switch to large icon. So I'm gonna match with the 3. So I call 3 wire. Here we go. Okay. So now you can change the light color. If it's too black, you can reduce it to be a little more lighter. You can change the fill color to make it darker also. Okay. And let's make it darker. Here we go. And I think in this case I would make it white. And a little not too black on the wireframe. Okay, it's done now. So I'm gonna save this again, and this time I'm gonna call wire 01 because I have another. Okay, so now we're gonna render the close-up one. So, and you can render the top view like this too. Right now, so I am having here. So let's see if I can position it. Oh, we just need to look on only one. So I'm gonna zoom in really close. Here we go. So now I'm gonna render top view. So I'm gonna render camera. I can't, so I'm gonna have to create another camera. Sorry, I forgot about this, because it's different than Maya rendering. So create camera. Now this one I'm gonna scale a little bit so that we can see a little better, and we're gonna call this a top view, top camera 1. Okay, so we're gonna just switch panel to top camera. I'm gonna rotate, so will be minus 90 degree perpendicular, and then just move it up. Turn on a resolution gate so that we can see. I'm gonna turn off the copy layer, so just only one. So now we can change to top camera. Here we go. So you're gonna render out one with wireframe, okay, and then you're gonna render out with the regular shader. So this is why we need to group them. Easy to select all pieces. So if you don't know how, go back and look at on the video on Monday. So video from Monday, I show you how to do that. So at this point I'm gonna wait until it's done and I'll be back. Okay, this is how it looks. So I'm gonna save this image and I'm gonna call render top wire, render top 01, just in case I might have top 02, close up, or different view or different angle, stuff like that. So save. So now I'm gonna select the group that contain these surfaces and I'm gonna reassign the white Lambert back because I need to render two of them exactly same. Here we go. And then I'm gonna just wait until it's finished rendering because I turn on IPR, so it means do rendering. Now with this though, you can do like this. Let me pause. Let us run quick. Okay, let's run quick. Okay guys, so now it's finished rendering. Now on this though, because we press 1, it's display in one level, so it's a little bit of facet. I'm gonna save this anyway, so let me save this and I'm gonna call top but no wire, and this one I'm gonna call step 101. I mean the name, it doesn't matter what name you are naming. So now I'm gonna select the group 1 here and I'm gonna press 3. So now let's see if the screen doesn't update. You might have to close it down, reopen it again. So now mine is updating. So I think I'm gonna use this to do composition with the wireframe one instead of these are step 3. Okay, so that we can see a little more smooth looking detail. I can pause the video. Okay, it's done now. So I'm gonna save again, and this time I'm gonna not put, I can put step 3 so that I know. Like I said, you don't have to name like what I'm doing. So now I am open up Photoshop and open those files. You will submit this individual, like smooth and shade all, wireframe on shade, and then combine them. Now to combine them though, same thing as top, smooth, and wireframe, and then combine them. To combine them, you can do like this. You go to the wireframe image, and then you go to select all, edit, copy, go to the shading, and then you go to edit, paste. Now it's on top, they are exactly same position because it's same camera, same position. So now I can change the mode to, now if you use a multiply, it will be too dark. So basically we'll multiply the dark pixel. Now you can do overlay, but overlay might be too blown up, but you still can get the shading of the surface of the image below. You can try like multiply and reduce opacity. Can you see? So now it depends on your rendering. Sometimes multiply with reduce opacity on the multiply layers, you get a really perfect look. But sometimes on your scene, it depends on your lighting, you might have to use overlay and then reduce opacity in order to get the image look right. So basically you use either overlay or multiply, and then play around with the opacity, and then you just quick export this so that it collapse the layers for you, and then you just save into a composite. So render 3, right, because mine's render 3, I'm gonna call composite, composition, composite, oops, sorry. Just com is fine. Composition, basically, just put com, that's fine, and then you just upload on D2L. That's all you need to do. Same here. I could do select all, edit copy, go to this one, edit paste, and I can use multiply, reduce the opacity. Okay, so that won't be too dark. Here we go. So now we see wireframe on shade with use smooth and shade all. And if you use regular Maya rendering, you could render the wireframe. You could do screen capture wireframe and then use that, but rendering it looks much better. So that's all you need to do. So I'm gonna export it again, and pretty much it for now. This one will be top. I don't need step. Gonna be top 1 composite. There we go. Then you just upload to D2L. Make sure you render out the font view like this camera. You see, let me grab that. Here we go. Like the number 8 with wireframe and with smooth and shade all. So wireframe need to be step 1, smooth and shade all need to be step 3, and then you compositing them together. So show all the detail, including like you might want to create another camera, like for example create camera, and then I'm gonna call, how about the chains. So you can call chains, I think chains, camera, and then I mean just as many as camera you wanted. So I'm gonna switch that panel to chains camera. I'm gonna move. Here we go. I'm gonna zoom out, dolly out. Here we go. And then you just render that shot. Turn on a field chart so that you can see, and then zoom in really close and turn that shot. Okay, and then same thing as the other part. You want it to do more like bolt, you can create another camera. I'm gonna call bolt, something like that, or cap, or base, anything that you know what it is. So now I'm gonna change that. How about this time I change this view, bolt camera. I'm gonna rotate it, move. Here we go. So turn the field resolution gate on again, and then there we go, down in close, and then you just render it out. So you might end up with like 10 camera, which is normally perfectly fine. That's what we usually do in the production anyway. So okay, I hope you can complete this, and just let me know if you need help. On Friday I will leave the Zoom on, but I will be in my office. Alrighty.